I'm going to show you guys how to get healthy, literally, no matter what diet you eat, no matter kind of what lifestyle you want to live. There's things we can do to improve our health. All I will say first is I'm not giving you any medical advice. I'm not making any medical claims. And I'm not making any claims for or against any product or products. So with that being said, the very first thing you want to do if you're trying to get healthy is, in my opinion, it all starts with your water. Absolutely have to clean your water. So that's the first thing I'm doing right there. That's a carbon distiller. You will basically be able to purify your water with that. Now, that doesn't mean, people think, oh, well, I got a water filter. That should be good enough. No, you might want to watch my video 388 where I show lab tests as far as quote unquote water filters and how they're all different actually. And they work differently. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is actually harvest the water I made last night. Put these in some jars. So basically carbon distillation and clean water, in my opinion, is a really good way to really significantly improve your health. Why? For me, it's more of a preventative care, mostly because of the stuff that you'd be preventing from entering your body. And you don't realize the strain that the potential contaminants in water cause on your kidneys, on your liver, on your gut. I mean, literally all the important parts. And so really important, in my opinion, to clean your water. So we'll get started with that. Let's see here. Okay, almost done here. So will clean water fix all your problems? In my opinion, no. Again, it's just more of a preventative. I'm going to put just a tiny bit of mineral in here. I put 2 drops in there. And then I'm going to grab here if you want to see how I do it, I guess you guys can look at it from here. Just grabbing the carbon distilled water. I'm actually running reverse osmosis water in here. That way my distiller stays clean and I don't even have to use the carbon water, or the carbon filter, I mean. So that makes it kind of easier for me. I'm still have not had the need. I guess I should be pointed this way. Sorry, it's hard to put the camera around. I just put it in there. And then I'm going to fire it up. And there we go. So that's how you make your clean water. Now, like I said, no matter what diet you eat, no matter what you do, in my personal opinion, you have to have clean water if you're going to want to be healthy. So that's one of the easiest tips that I can recommend for quote unquote trying to get healthy. Now I do have one more tip. The easy stuff, right? Everybody wants the easy stuff. Let me go grab the product that I use. And I'm going to pour some hydrogen water here and I'll show you what it is. Of course, I'm taking it on an empty stomach right now, first thing in the morning. I already drank my hydrogen water, but I'll have a little more here. And this one I like to take on an empty stomach. This is actually a mushroom extract, but done in a very specific way with the most powerful mushroom, this Japanese mushroom, and a specific part of its growth cycle. It's really quite impressive. It was originally made for pets and animals. If you want to see this product, you can see them at a website called hman.petclub247.com. But this one, super amazing for the immune system, and your immune system has everything to do with how things function in your body. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take these right now. Hold on. Like I said, I like to take those on an empty stomach. You can do it like 3 times a day or 2 times a day. Okay, next. Like I said, I'm trying to make a video. I know a lot of people want to get healthy on the easy. So the easy one is a clean water. Those pills are easy if you're like kind of a pill person and you find it easier. The other one is obviously the hydrogen water, which I don't know if I showed you. I guess you guys can see it from here. Well, not really. You guys have probably seen it before though. Using the best properly made hydrogen, in my opinion, is a very easy way to improve your health. I've seen it work on people that I know actually really transform people's lives. I have seen that, and it's been really great, you know, getting off of pharmaceuticals and that kind of thing. Okay, now I'm going to make my vacuum smoothie with my vacuum blender. Now that one, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's hard, but some people find it difficult. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me grab my nutrients. Okay. And I say nutrients because literally no matter what diet you want to eat or however you want to live, that's fine. But you have to absolutely make sure you don't have any nutritional deficiencies. That's one of the easy tips on top of all this stuff. Because nutritional deficiencies have been shown to be linked to, unfortunately, medical problems and disease. This is one of my favorite products. Well, this one's foundational. You don't have to have all of them, by the way. But this one's foundational because this is basically where I'm getting my vitamins. This is my multivitamin, but in food form. And it's just a powder. And all it is food. So it's nothing crazy in the ingredients. And really clean, in fact. It's one of the reasons I love this company. Check it out. I mean, they really are the cleanest. That's why I chose it. There's a lot of products I've liked. They literally did their lab tests and they found some stuff they didn't like. And so they had to basically kind of do like a recall and make sure that their product meets the highest standards. And I like that stuff because what it's doing, it's most likely, as far as lab tests I saw, minimizing or obviously eliminating certain contaminants in our food. And remember, this is all food, and you got to have, again, overcome nutritional deficiencies. I mean, you could put this thing in just like water. You could do that, but obviously, for me, I like to put it in the smoothie because it combines with the fiber of the food, which is actually kind of magical. I know a lot of people don't realize that. They think it's probably not important. But, oh yeah, and for those who want to know where I got this, it's from a website called ishoppurium.com, P-U-R-I-U-M. It's called Power Shake. And the fiber, in my opinion, helps you with the absorption of the nutrients. And I think I've proven that already, especially to my doctors. When they see the level of nutrients that I'm absorbing, they just literally can't believe it. So something's working. And I think it's actually that with a combination of the hydrogen water. I just think those two things are really helping a lot. This one's from rncstore.com, is it? I think it's RNC Store. Yeah, rncstore.com. And if you want a discount code, it's Uprising144K. They got high quality apricot seeds. This is ground up apricot seeds. Good omegas. It appears to have some good anti-cancer properties. Again, no claims. That's just what it appears to be. You can read the research on it, actually. I have. I was kind of impressed with it, actually. And so that's the first thing. But of course, you know, good omegas, B17, all natural. See B17 there. So that's another product I like to put in there. This is just ground up turmeric. And so, you know, again, the easy things are things like, I mean, I guess I can give you guys more tips on easy ways to improve your health. A big one is sleep, actually. So sleep is going to be a good one. Even a minor walk. They showed research that walking for like 20 to 30 minutes, you know, pretty brisk walk every day, appears to work better than any antidepressant there is. Doesn't that tell you something? Okay, now we're doing matcha, green tea matcha from Japan. This one makes it taste kind of creamy. Of course, the health benefits, anti-parasitics, anti-cancer properties to a lot of these ingredients. And so I found this at a really good price at the store. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw that in the smoothie. And honestly, it tastes really good in the smoothie. It makes it really change the flavor. It's surprising, actually. And you guys can also ask for certain tips if you're like, hey, I do this or I do that. I was talking to somebody yesterday. He's like, well, I drink every day. And I'm like, okay. And So they're like, you know, what can I do? And of course they were drinking, I think twice a day actually. And so, you know, you just try to find tips. That's why I made a video yesterday on how to make a healthy alcoholic beverage. This is raw cacao. Appears to activate stem cells. And also all sorts of other benefits. Moving on. Today, all right, let's move on to one of the best foods in regards to apparently epigenetics. Some research that has been done. And I might really have to show you guys how to make the hydrogen chia seeds today because I think I'm running low. Maybe I should do that real quick. I don't know if you guys even care on how to make that. Actually, I don't know if anybody cares about anything. I don't see anybody really have any questions. So I guess I'm just going to move forward the way I would normally would then. Let's see here. Grab. Make some chia seeds here. Where are we? Over here somewhere. And to misplace them. Okay, here we go. All right, let's start with the super greens. Why super greens? Well, like I said, you don't have to do this. I mean, the easy ones. But to me, in my opinion, making a smoothie like this is basically an easy way to improve your health because, you know, you can take a fiber supplement, which some doctors do recommend, but I don't think they read the data enough because we have clear evidence now, it's coming out of Japan again, on how the fiber from like fruits and vegetables affect the body and all the wonderful properties of them. And they're just not the same as a fiber supplement. You know, we're talking about, quote unquote, different types of fiber in different types of fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds and even beans and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's very important to try to get different ones from your food, and this is an easy way to do it. Just throw it all in a smoothie. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with that. I mean, this is how I pretty much do my mornings. Okay. There we go. But, you know, the smoothie is not just about trying to get fiber. It does a lot of things. That's something that I really like about it. It does so many things. It provides, let's see here, minerals from your actual food. I also add minerals and combine it with the fiber, which research shows it works even better and better absorption. We're talking about getting all your nutrients like a multivitamin from your actual food. We're talking about getting antioxidants, phytonutrients, a lot of anti-cancer, anti-parasitic properties to a lot of these foods. And it fills your stomach. So it does everything, including make your hunger go away. And it's really amazing for your gut, for a lot of people who have trouble going to the bathroom. In fact, I've been working with someone recently who's had so many issues with their gut for so long. And they've been doing this protocol that I've been doing for like, I don't know, maybe just like 2 weeks. And they said they just can't believe the change. It's so dramatic. Really, and it's probably too much information, you know, but really good BMs and everything needs to keep moving. That's a really good way to stay healthy too. You got to get all that stuff out of you, you know, quote unquote, all this toxic stuff in your GI system and how much it affects you and it affects your blood. I don't even think people really understand how you need to utilize the blood in order to quote unquote be really healthy. That's another issue. But I just try to give you guys easy stuff. Unless you want to know what I do, which even my protocols, I don't know, I created them to be easy. But of course I need to see them work. And once I did, I just realized, wow, how easy is this? You know, it's not, now thank goodness for carbon distillers and thank goodness for, you know, the hydrogen machine, because that's really what changed a lot of things. But also this, like the Purium powder I use, that one's really great. Now, could I find a different product? Yeah, there's like there's only like 3 companies that I would buy the powder from. And I used to buy one before called Raw Meal, but the Purium one was more pure. And it just felt better. You could just kind of feel the difference. And the lab tests, of course, validated that, in my opinion, by showing how clean it was. When I say clean, I mean free of, you know, pesticides and stuff like that. And I buy everything organic. And a lot of people may poo-poo at that, but the research on pesticides is darn right scary. So I do it for a good reason. And granted, for me, it's it's been mostly about trying to overcome quote unquote suffering from all the medical issues that I had. And guess what? In my opinion, potentially might help everybody out there, right? Because let's grab some blueberries. Not everybody knows exactly what to do, and it took a lot of research, a lot of homework, a lot of trial and error. Unfortunately, a lot of money trying to figure it all out. But the good news is that it really isn't that expensive, which is really great, but it does take some discipline. And that's the way typically it is in life, isn't it? Okay, here we go. So this is a normal breakfast. I'm gonna put some hydrogen water in here. Then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna make some more hydrogen chia seeds. Now, I don't know if you guys care to know how to do this, but first you want to fill up the jar halfway. So hold on a second. And you want to use, in my opinion, the absolute cleanest water you can get, for good reason. It doesn't have to be hydrogen water for the chia seeds, just clean water, because what you're doing is these chia seeds are amazing, right? They have good omegas, good fats, basically, good minerals, a lot of really good fiber. It's really good stuff, and it's really inexpensive. And then, of course, I get the organic one, but it's still very, very affordable. I put, I don't know, I just kind of eyeball it, but I have these little cups. I usually put 3 of them. Now, you can't wait too long. You have to put the water in right away. So let me grab water. Because the chia seeds are going to start soaking it up, which is one of the tricks to, again, improve your health. One of the tricks is to bring water into the system. And you want food that's carrying water, not food that is dry. This is why you don't want dry food. This will pick up the water. You'll see in a second. And then it'll start settling. See how you see it? It actually looks pretty. It looks pretty, but see how it starts settling to the bottom? You want to shake it again. And just keep it shaking. And it won't take very long. Meanwhile, put some walnuts, again, anti-cancerous. You can actually read the research on it. I believe they're even anti-parasitic on top of all that. And they have good fats, good fiber, good protein. Really, really, really easy, and they just taste so good. And then notice again, see how this is sinking to the bottom? Shake it again. Just keep that going. Okay. Let's go with something delicious. Some natural sweetness from the raisins, sun-dried organic raisins. Again, organic as much as possible. Are you going to avoid all pesticides? No. If you minimize them, though, your body can deal with them, hopefully, especially when you're drinking proper amounts of water. And it's one of the reasons that I like hydrogen a lot, is because of its protective properties and the way it appears to protect you, like, I don't know, maybe protect your organs, right? Like your liver, your kidneys, from a lot of the pesticides. But I would first minimize it and then protect from whatever else is left over. Don't overwhelm the hydrogen either. Okay. Moving on. Okay, now we're definitely going to put some hydrogen water in that smoothie. Let's see. And why? Well, I found research that appears, now granted, this doesn't appear to work with other forms of hydrogen like Brown's gas and stuff. The research I found only works with hydrogen because of the size of the molecule. And it appears to soak right into those fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and appears to actually enhance the properties of them, which is kind of remarkable. I wasn't expecting that at all. Okay, now ginger. Ginger, not only is it beautiful, boy, the properties of this stuff. Like when I say the properties, it's remarkable how amazing it is for your health. I don't want to put too much ginger, of course. I'm going to cut some, what I'm going to use today. And of course, organic, anything that's going to be a root. You're going to want it to be organic as much as possible. So that's obviously one of the important aspects. Now, you know, you can make this smoothie. There are other ways to do it that will be faster. I kind of take my time, but I've noticed you can make it in probably 15 minutes. So 15 minutes, you know, again, when I say easy stuff, so you would do, for example, the clean water with the hydrogen protocol in the mornings like I'm doing, and this smoothie. And I've seen people just do that. And then for the rest of the day, they obviously eat probably not as healthy or consume some things they shouldn't. But I have seen it still do amazing things for people. So it's a good way to get the day started right, in my personal opinion. And obviously this is why I do it. And it feels so good that it's hard to ever want to go back to not doing it, you know. Feeling healthy is, well, kind of priceless. So it's too important to me. Okay, next one, beets. And I'm gonna shake this up again, and I think we're pretty much done shaking it. See? Now it's really soaked. What I was looking to soak up the water in there. Now let's go with the beets. I like beets. They're sweet. They also appear to be, again, anti-parasitic, which probably means, in my opinion, that they probably have anti-cancer properties. I think everybody knows that they appear to be good for the liver. And yada, yada, yada. Okay. There we go. Let's go ahead and just cut this guy. This was a really big beet, so hopefully it won't. Yeah. Kind of tricky sometimes. There we go. Yeah, they're really crunchy, really sweet. I know people like them cooked. I tend not to be a huge fan of them being cooked. But they're inexpensive. I also try to pick ingredients that are very affordable and just get all this stuff basically in you every single morning. But I took those other pills on an empty stomach, just like my hydrogen water. So all that stuff has basically gone through me. Probably almost through me, right around when I'll be done with this, making this smoothie. Yeah, you know, there's so many tips on how to get healthy. If you guys have questions, obviously ask them. And if not, then like I said, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing here. But I've been showing people how to make these smoothies for quite a while because they really do transform your health. People don't realize how much fiber the human body needs, and it's kind of hard to believe actually, but I guess that we're kind of like what? The gorillas that just chow down on vegetables all day long. Okay, let's see here. What are we gonna do next? I am unfortunately out of celery today, so I'm gonna have to go without that, but I'm gonna put some of these chia seeds in there now. If I get this guy open. There we go. Now, let's go with, what's next? Let's go with carrots. Benefits from carrots, and they're so cheap. But you definitely want organic because, again, they're grown in the ground. That's going to be more important for, again, root vegetables and things of that nature. But the carrots give it a nice sweet taste also. And everybody always likes to talk about beta carotene and everything, which is obviously great, but there's so many properties to these foods that I don't even think people totally understand. We know that they have certain properties, but they don't know why they do some of the things that they do. But just like a carrot being anti-parasitic, that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure exactly what part of it or why it's anti-parasitic, but sometimes I don't totally care. The fact that it does it is all that matters. If it's good for me, That's all I need to, that's all I need to know. You know, there's too much information sometimes. So when it comes to health, I try to simplify it, make it kind of easy. And we're gonna vacuum blend this sucker, because when you grind this thing all up into tiny little pieces, you want to prevent the oxidation, to prevent the, you know, the decomposing of all these nutrients. And it really makes a difference, not only the way it looks, the way it actually tastes, which is kind of shocking. I did not expect it to taste different. And that's why I like using the vacuum blender, because you can suck out literally the oxygen out of your blender, which is super cool. And it's not the hardest thing in the world either. And it makes a difference, and if you're gonna do it, might as well do it even better. I used to use, see, I'm constantly upgrading, so I used to use a different blender. This is upgrading now my routine to vacuum blending. And then I recently got the new hydrogen machine, which has this new technology. I didn't know how much of a difference it'd make. I'm already getting testimonials in regards to it, and I'm noticing the difference with that new hydrogen, and it's kind of surprising. Nobody's ever made hydrogen like that ever in the world. Obviously the Japanese, again, are the ones who figured it out. I mean, they're the #1 when it comes to hydrogen in the world, so they're really like the absolute mecca of hydrogen and understanding, and the best technology to make it. And so I'm really glad I got the new one, actually. So that was a good move. I wasn't sure. I've upgraded more than once, but the new one with the sticky hydrogen is just, quote unquote, kind of irreal. How is your eyesight? You know, that's an interesting one. I have excellent eyesight, but when I started using the hydrogen, I didn't expect it to affect my eyesight, and it did. It actually made it better. And, you know, I go in and get my eyes checked all the time. And I've seen this actually with a lot of other people too, that hydrogen appears to be helping people with their eyesight, which, I don't know, I didn't really expect that. I know they say carrots are good for your eyesight. I just think personally that you need to have all your nutrients, all of them, so you're not deficient. And then of course, once you get hydrogen and the way it opens up the ghost vessels and moves the blood around, all that stuff's super important. Okay, let's move forward here. Okay, wow, that doesn't look so good. Let's use a good looking banana today. Maybe I should put 2 of them. I don't know if it'll fit 2. Let's see. Amazing. Yeah, that's what Twin says. I was really surprised. There's a lot of things that happened with hydrogen that I was surprised about. One of them for my dad was glaucoma. I mean, he had glaucoma for like 30 years or more. I mean, over 3 decades is a long time. And we didn't really think hydrogen would get rid of his glaucoma. We thought it would only deal with things like arthritis, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, this type of stuff. But when we saw the negative test on glaucoma showing that he didn't have it anymore, it was like, what? I mean, it was mind-blowing, actually. Even the doctor, they couldn't believe it because they'd been seeing him for like those 3 decades. And in fact, they didn't believe it so much that they asked for a retest. Retest came back exactly the same. Then they did it again because they still didn't believe it. They just couldn't believe it. It went beyond comprehension. And granted, that's not going to happen with your average person, in my opinion, because the average person doesn't do hydrogen correctly. And I have seen the differences. You're doing it right and doing it wrong. But yeah, that was his experience. Okay, now we're going to vacuum this thing. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but it's probably the celery because I don't have it. You're gonna watch the water level go up. In fact, here, I'll put it here so see if you guys get a better sight of this. Maybe I'll even bring it closer. Watch the water level. Ready? It's going up. Oh boy, stop. That's gonna get too close. You don't want the water getting too close to the pumps. They can damage it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do real quick is actually grind this down. There we go, make a little more room. There we go. Keep going. There we go. Stop again. Oh, perfect. I actually really like this blender. In some ways, I like my Vitamix, but this one works really great too. Okay, let's suck a little more of the water out of there. And the oxygen, that's ultimately what we're sucking out of there, is the oxygen. Alright, right, I think that's about it. It's a level 19, which it only needs to be to a 16, so I'm going a little overkill here. Probably could use a little more water, but I'm going to shut this down now. And now really finish making this smoothie. Wow, look at that. Most blenders will like strain and even get stuck and overheat. I'm going to show you a few magic ingredients too. Twin says, show they know nothing. Well, it's unfortunate. Everybody's so hyper-focused on the amazing properties of hydrogen, they don't realize that there's different ways of making it, and some are better than others, that's all. All right, I'm gonna show you a few magic ingredients that, in my opinion, not only they're easy, affordable, but super important to health. One of them specifically, some people still poo-poo it, and I can't believe it, but I'll show you in a second. Here, let me get this rolling, I'll go grab those ingredients. Yeah, some of these will even make you potentially test positive on a drug test, which is kind of wild. Okay, almost done here. And you're literally seeing it being vacuumed under pressure so it doesn't oxidize as much. The flavor is the part that is shocking because I put all the foods. Those powders literally taste different. Somehow they're not being oxidized as much. It's really amazing. I think that's pretty much done, but one more time I'm gonna just kind of zap it a few times to make sure it chops up everything. That's good. Now the question is, how do you get this thing off of here once it's on here? I mean, this thing is on here like you don't even know. And even if I relieve the pressure, see, even then it's still on there and you just can't get this thing off of here. It's crazy. Now, by the way, the secret, I got some secrets for you about health, guys, and like nobody's really going to hear them because there's really nobody in here watching. There's only a few people. But I got these crazy secrets that honestly, I don't even try to explain it to people because dare I say, they just won't get it. They don't understand. Almost nobody understands, dare I say that. I haven't heard any health gurus. Like, nobody seems to really, like I said, they don't get it. By the way, here's a trick on how to open it. You open up the valve, you put the tissue underneath to leave the valve open. And I know everybody just wants a pill for your health, and I get it. And there's some that are amazing. I just took some, but there's other little secrets that are important to know if you're really trying to like go next level with your health, you know. All right, so then I just lifted it in the corner and here we are. Look at that. All right, now I'm gonna show you the magic ingredients. And I'm not kidding you, when I say magic, they're absolute magic. I mean, they try to put a little, quote unquote, I'll just say needle in your arm for, you know, trying to stay healthy, when there's something that potentially appeared to maybe work better. I'm not making any claims. I'm not saying anything other than this is so important. Vitamin D3 with K2 in its ionic form. I cannot emphasize it enough. Now, if you want to take pills, that's fine. I like the liquid more. Again, in its ionic form, working together with minerals. And here we go. I always keep my vitamin D levels at a good, healthy place. Now, granted, you don't want too much of it. That's not good for you either. Life is all about balance after all. And then, I mean, this thing is like, you start your day like this. Clean hydrogen water and then a smoothie like this with all your nutrients. I get more nutrients from this than my dinners, to be honest. And my dinners are good, but this is the next ingredient. This one you don't have to have. It's just hemp hearts, but I say just hemp hearts. These things are magical. I mean, they're the most well-balanced protein in the world of omega-3s and 6s. Lots of protein, lots of good fats, the omegas obviously, but lots of good nutrients and minerals. I mean, this stuff is just remarkable. It's almost hard to believe, but it can potentially, and it tastes good, by the way, can potentially make you test positive under a drug test. Okay, now last ingredient. I guess I'll take you over here and show you. I am gonna take a sip though already. Wow, that came out really good. I didn't even put celery in it today. Okay. Set up here, see if you have any questions. It doesn't look like too many people have questions today, so I might just let you go, but if you guys have questions, I'll answer right now. It is live after all. And I'll show you the last ingredient, which is actually inhaling pure hydrogen. Definitely not mixing it with anything. Definitely no oxygen. We already breathe in oxygen. You just want to make your body efficient at the oxygen we're getting. When you supplement it regularly, you should read the science. It actually looks really bad. Okay, let's go ahead and maybe answer some of your questions. How does that taste? It actually tastes really, really good. I've shared it before with children. As to date, I haven't had one kid not like it. I had one adult refuse it. That's the only thing I ever had. Just one adult was like, nah, I know I'm not gonna like it. It's like, okay. But I've had a lot of people say that when they actually do try it, they actually do like it. So I don't know. I think I've kind of, I don't want to say perfected it, but I certainly think I've got it down pretty well. Okay. So inhaling hydrogen while I have the smoothie, increasing the ability to absorb nutrients, fighting any negative aspects that might be in it. And that's it, guys. No ice, definitely no ice. I'll show you why actually. Here, hold on. I'll go grab it for you. So, when it comes to ice, if you do the research, ice makers are pretty dirty. You don't want bacteria, strains your immune system, and sometimes can cause inflammation that's undesired. So if you want ice, if that's something that you want, so good. Tastes really good today. First, you want to clean your water. So you do like the carbon distilled water, which I don't know if you saw that I'm making right now. Then I actually make hydrogen ice cubes. Pour the water in here, immediately put the top and put it in the freezer. The colder it is, the longer the hydrogen will stay in there, and it'll stay in the ice really nicely. Then you can make hydrogen ice balls here. So if you make your own, you can use ice if you want to. If you noticed, I just poured in water. Barbara says, what are the differences between the newest hydrogen machine and the earlier model? All right, I made a whole video about that, but I'll answer a few of those questions. I've been noticing that most hydrogen companies are not improving their equipment. The Japanese have this relentless passion to always seek perfection and improve and improve and improve. And basically the newest machine is creating something called sticky hydrogen. It was supposed to be impossible. Nobody's ever seen it done. Nobody knew that it would exist. And when they did the lab test, and I only got a glimpse of it, I'm trying to get the full footage so I can show you guys. It was throwing off the results as far as the equipment that they use to measure it, which is the correct equipment, because in America, the things they recommend, in my opinion, are just silly. Blue drops, you don't measure hydrogen with blue drops if you want to get an accurate reading. And then bubble tests, I mean, that's really dumb because you need to know what's in the bubble. I can blow bubbles. You don't know the concentrations. It's a really silly test. And in my opinion, when people are showing you how to do it wrong, they're showcasing their ignorance on the subject. They don't really understand how to do it right. Using the right equipment, and I saw it's Japanese equipment. That's the thing. Remember, Japan is the mecca for hydrogen. And they definitely have, not only do they have the right equipment, they're the ones who make it. It's all made in Japan. It's not cheap stuff either. But the new machine, first, they improved their metal technology, and they're using like some type of expanded metal and the purity of it, no plated metal. There's only one company in the world that can even make it, and it happens to be a Japanese company. The combination of that with their new membrane, the new membrane is revolutionary. Nobody makes a membrane like that. Super, super clean. When you test membranes, you definitely want to test for like PFAS specifically, known as a forever chemical. When they tested theirs, no PFAS, super clean, Japanese made membrane. Where all the other membranes I've ever seen tested, I've always seen them test positive for PFAS, which always makes me kind of nervous. So that's another thing. But then it also appears to be double structuring the hydrogen, and then it starts sticking to things. And so the sticky hydrogen, probably nobody ever thought that it would be possible, I guess. But that's the biggest difference with the new one. And then, of course, everything else that it's always done, which was already good. So they're just building on top of what they were doing before. Not sure if that answers your question, Barbara. But I'm excited to release that footage to you guys, and I'll hopefully be doing that soon. So stay tuned for that. And then Twins says, yes, seen yesterday. But yeah, I don't do a lot of the ice. I will say that a lot of the frozen fruit is kind of like functions as an ice cube. But you know, I don't want it too cold. In the mornings, I'm already a little cold. So, all right, guys, any other questions? Twin says, can you post a link for the equipment needed to make hydrogen water? I will post that in a little bit, but it is a website called holyhydrogen.com. And if you want to use code, you can use my code if you want, which is uprising144K, or any code that you might like that you find. But that's the official website to actually get something that's authentic, lab tested, like the real deal. Since it's the #1 machine in Japan and even Asia, you can obviously see that it's been attempted to be copied with much failure. I should release some of the pictures of the failures. That would be actually very interesting. Barbara says, thank you. Oh yeah, and Barbara, I forgot to tell you, not only is it double structuring the hydrogen, inducing this natural hydrogen frequency, but the nanobubbles that it makes is like second to none. I've never seen anything make nanobubbles like this. It has to do with the membrane and that metal technology that I'd mentioned. So it's really cool. You know, if you can afford it and if you really, really want the health benefits, I would say like a 20% improvement, which is a lot. I was probably expecting like 5 or 10, 20, or maybe even more. And the testimonials coming in about it, it really is pretty amazing. And I think at some point, some research will be done showing what it can really do, because, I mean, it being sticky and getting, you know, even penetrating even better, I think is a really big deal for it to be even more effective. So we'll be learning about it more. Okay guys, any last questions? Thanks for watching. Thanks for giving the video a thumbs up. Boy, this tastes so good. I think it's the green tea that's really making this thing taste really good. So good. It's like creamy and like a dessert. And I put walnuts in it too, which is really good. And I mean, again, not only does it taste good, guys, how many people, and comment below, I mean, there's only a few people in the room today. I mean, comment, how do you feel that you get enough vegetables? You know, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds. Do you think you're getting enough fiber? Statistics show if you don't, basically the amount of fiber that people are consuming, there's only 3% of Americans that get the minimum amount required by the body. That means that almost nobody's getting the actual amounts that you really, really require. Twin says, do you eat any meat? Well, it depends, Twins, because I've tried virtually every single diet there is. And this was, you know, from when I was like really, really sick. And then I started following the data and I tried different things and did blood work. And then I went off of the meat for a long time because I wanted to see, and this is all based on data, not only trying to get myself better as far as my health is concerned, but I do it for other reasons. And they're on the spiritual front. I don't really talk about that a lot because, you know, they always say, don't talk about religion and politics. And I don't need to be talking about, you know, my spiritual path and the things I choose to do. But the important thing is to make sure that I was getting enough nutrients. And when I got my blood work, my latest blood work, my doctor couldn't believe that I haven't eaten meat for over, I think it's been like a decade. It's been a very long time. I have not eaten meat. Once in a while, so the way that I prep my body, I don't know, again, people probably wouldn't understand. I prep my body in such a way to be able to utilize and absorb nutrients really good. I believe the average body doesn't, which is we pee out a lot of nutrients. And so when I get my body prepped like this, and once in a while, if I have an egg, or if I was to have a steak, or if I was to have, I don't know, cheese or something, the ability to absorb a lot of those nutrients that are found in certain foods, and I don't even need to eat them as often, but the shocking part was my blood work. Like I said, there was no deficiencies, which is very rare, by the way. I would say about 97 to 99% of all Americans are deficient in something. Everybody's deficient in something. But you need to overcome nutritional deficiencies if you want your body to be at its best and extremely healthy. And so all these little things that you don't think are necessarily important. So for the time being, I'm not, though if I wanted to, and I plan on doing this actually very soon, there's properties to bone and meat, like from certain animals. They have these really awesome nutrients. And I'm gonna utilize the power of water. You know, this channel should really be mostly like a water channel. I mean, I know I'm the hydrogen man, and I love hydrogen, and obviously water is mostly made of hydrogen. But water is so magical, and I'm gonna be utilizing water to extract the nutrients out of the bone, out of the meat, for like broths. And I'm gonna be doing that in the very near future just to do something different, and because it tastes really good. And so that's gonna be really exciting, so stay tuned for that. And so I don't know if that answers your question, twins. But any other questions, guys, while you got me before I say goodbye? Oh, I'm telling you, that green tea, it just changed, the matcha thing just changes this thing. It is so unbelievable. There you go, Star Char Lama, hydrogen bone broth. Yep, I'm gonna be utilizing the water to, again, pull the nutrients, because then you don't have to, you know, consume all of it. I'm trying to put the least amount of strain on my body, is ultimately, you know, the goal. Let me grab some more smoothie. That was so good. Yeah, you can't beat that. It's just, some things are just really hard on the body, or hard on digestion. Okay, you guys want to, you know, check this out. You know, throw a little comment out there. What percentage of energy, so let's say all the energy your body has, so 100% of the energy, how much is it utilized when you eat a big meal? What do you guys think? What percentage of your energy does it take to consume a really big meal? You know, like you had a steak and a baked potato, and excuse me, maybe a salad. Who knows? Like, oh, somebody throw a guess out there, because then you'll realize something I'm trying to like help people understand who really do want to get healthy, you know? Okay, Twin says, great work, thank you. CC says, please, can you make a video where you make your miso soup? That's so easy. There's probably a ton of them out there. Star Char Lima says, I'm also vegetarian for 4 years now. And you know, the biggest thing, and see, Barbara guessed 39%. Star Char Lama is saying 60% of our energy. It appears to be over 80%, guys. And this is the reason, and I think this is where people got it wrong as far as Thanksgiving. They say that it's, you know, the tryptophan or whatever from the turkey that makes you tired. No, in my opinion, it's overeating. Because when you eat a lot, it bogs down so much energy, and that's why you get sleepy. So when you eat a big meal, no matter what it is, you're just gonna get tired, and you're just gonna wanna fall asleep or lay down. So when you're trying to improve your health, what you're actually trying to do is consume something that's easy for the body to digest, but get all your nutrients. And that's the key, and that's this guy right here, the smoothie, because so much water, so much fiber, so many enzymes that help break down the food itself so that your body doesn't have to release and utilize its own enzymes. I'm telling you, that's part of the key to getting good health. This came out so good. Okay, guys. So that's the reason, even the Japanese did a study on this, where if you're gonna eat something like, let's say, a steak, or something you know is hard to digest, always have your vegetables first. The fiber from the vegetables, the enzymes from the vegetables, and obviously different properties from the vegetables actually make it easier because it gets your stomach all prepped and ready. The meat comes in and it's easier to digest than just straight eating meat. Then your body does have to utilize a lot of its own enzymes. And as you get older, it gets more difficult. This is why for like a 17-year-old kid to eat a big steak is easy as compared to an 80-something-year-old man eating a big steak. He's gonna have a hard time. And the science is clear on that too. We actually make less and less stomach acids as we age, which just makes digestion harder. So, okay. Any last questions before I say goodbye? Thanks for all the thumbs up. Wow, we got 9 of them. it was a small day today, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, found some helpful information. And if I don't see any questions here soon, then I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Star Char Lima says, thank you so much. And you're very welcome, and thank you for the kindness and gratitude. Appreciate you guys, appreciate everybody's kindness. I like when we have good people in the room and in the channel. It's just a good environment for just people trying to get healthy and do the right thing for their bodies and whatnot. So thanks again for watching, guys. See you next time on the next one.